Hi everyone, this is Tianyuan. We are currently doing a randomized clinical trial on high blood pressure. I am the statistician in our group. To begin with, let me briefly introduce my function in the team. My job in the team involves two parts, design and analysis. In helping with the design of the study, I designed the data collection process such as sample size calculation, randomization scheme, visit frequency, endpoint selection, which include safety and efficacy endpoint. For the data analysis, I am going to provide the method of analysis and interpret the results, such as writing a statistical analysis plan and provide statistical consultation. What we are doing now is a randomized, double-blinded, sham-controlled study in determining the safety and effectiveness of a drug in a population of subjects with high blood pressure. The patient enrolled in this study will be randomized into drug and placebo group based on the stratification of their baseline measurements. Their baseline blood pressure and blood glucose will be measured when they enter the study and then will be followed up after randomization in every 6 months for 2 years. The primary objective of the study is to determine the efficacy of the drug in reducing blood pressure. And the secondary objective is to determine the efficacy of the drug in reducing blood glucose. We have simulated the patient data with baseline measurement including gender, age, weight and height, and baseline blood pressure and blood glucose. Then we randomized the patient into case and the control group. We also simulated the blood pressure and blood glucose for the case and control group in the following 3 visits. We are going to use longitudinal analysis using SAS software, and we're going to compare the follow-up measurements in blood pressure and blood glucose. Now let me introduce our SAS programmer Deng Quan, who is going to take charge of the SAS programming and data analysis in SAS. Also, I'm going to introduce our data manager Shi Xuan, who is going to taking charge of the data cleaning and data entry into OpenClinica. Stay tuned.
Hi everyone, my name is Quan. Today I'm going to play the role as a SAS programmer, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what the functions that the SAS programmer normally perform. So SAS programmer plays an important role in the clinical trial. It has to work with the data manager, the statistician, and the project manager to ensure that the clinical trial is successful. So there are several things that SAS programmers has to do. So for example, one thing is they had to write SAS programs to generate the analysis data set and make sure that the analysis data set would adhere to this SAP, that is a standard analysis plan. And also SAS programmer has to work with the project manager to oversee the daily tasks, to make sure that every day the task is moving forward and all the codes are running correctly, there's no errors. And also the SAS programmers has to make sure that the code is adhered to the standard operating procedure, guidelines, and specifications. Also, SAS programmer has to work with the data manager and statisticians to maintain the SAS code. It has to make sure that the SAS code is up to date and is always agree with the specifications and there are no errors. And then the SAS programmer, it's a normal function to talk with the database. So in this process, it has to communicate with the database manager and ensure that the data are put in the database accurately and extracted from the database correctly. So in this process, you might need to use the ProcSQL and also some other frameworks, say Java Hibernate. And also, SAS programmer has to work closely with the reporting manager to make sure that all the reports agrees with the requirement. As a SAS programmer, you're always open to new opportunities. You always need to keep yourself updated of what the new technologies are there available for you. So it's likely that in the future, the SAS program will embed not just the Java, Python, but also some new other languages that can perform some more functional, more powerful functions. So as a SAS programmer, you have to always keep yourself energetic. You have always keep yourself learning new things, and you have to keep yourself very active in terms of communicating with the data manager, the statisticians, all your colleagues to make sure that the clinical trial is successful.
Hello everyone, my name is Shi Xuan. I am the data manager in our group. I will cooperate closely with our statistician and SAS programmer to perform a variety of tasks to enhance the quality of data gathered in our research study. My responsibility mainly include CRF design and edit checks. For the CRF part, I take charge of designing a case report form and ensuring the same CRF standards are used for all studies in the project. I also participate in the review of clinical research documents, develop and maintain data management plan, and ensure it is followed according to the study design and the requirements. For the edit checks part, I need to ensure the quality and the integrity of data in the study. I will develop database specification, test scripts and execution logs, and assist in defining creating data listings, summary table validation, and reconciling adverse events. Meanwhile, I will process data transfers in preparation for statistical review, coordinate the archiving of study database and related documents. My other responsibility include data entry and data clean. That's all I do in our group. Thanks.